Hey everyone, it's Steve here with RepVerse. Today I'm going to go through a short tutorial on how to create a project with additional information. Here on my home screen, I'm going to go over here to the Sales Flows list icon, and we're going to go in and see our current sales flows. So we have two sales flows in here. We have our Mayday's Bigger Dozen promo, which is a contact focus, and then the default 7-step sales process flow. We're going to create a new flow today using some of the additional data. The first few rows are required data. We're just going to give our project a title, a short description. These are mostly for your users or for yourself to know what the purpose of this funnel is. The titles are going to be what shows up in any of your drop-down menus, including the flow view. So make it short and make it as descriptive as possible. Today we are going to be creating a test flow just so that you can see what the information is that we can add in and how it is viewed in your project dashboard. Remember, when creating your description, to be as detailed as possible so that when any of your users or you in the future are reading this, you have a quick one-paragraph description of what this flow is entailing. In another video, we went through the contacts focused flows. Today we're going to be doing a project. If you don't know what kind of a focus you want to have, it's most likely going to be a project. This is a little bit more of our utility flow. In this row here, you can see that we are going to be adding extra data for that flow. Every flow is defaulted with contacts. These are people in your contact list that you might be attaching to this project. A company, what is the company that we are working with? What are the lines that we are working on? What are our manufacturers that we are talking about? Methods of contact, so this is site visits, phone calls, emails, things of that nature. Any distributor information that we may be attaching to this project as well. These are defaulted. We can add and remove these. So you can just use the little X box there and it's going to remove them. We also have 3 optional rows, which is additional numbers, 1 and 2, and then additional text. These are for number rows of your choosing. Let's say you're talking about square footage or other values, and then this is just any text field that you want. By adding these, it will give us a few extra drop-down menus. When we close this menu out, you're going to see that our methods of contact row has shown up here, and this is going through some of your default methods of contact. You can add and remove as many of these methods as you so choose. To add a new option, you can just type in the box, add new option, hit enter, and it has been added to that list and will show up in the drop-down menus during your comments. Down on our next row, we have what are the required rows when creating a new project in this flow. You can add and remove these at will. Remember that if you have these rows in this column, they will be required to be filled out before the project can be saved. Here's where we can put in our project close conditions. We can say closed won, closed lost. We can add in other specific information if you have any other closed conditions you'd like to add. If you choose to put nothing in here, all closed projects will be marked as closed. These columns here are for what the display name is for the integer values that you added and that text row. We can say things like square footage, and test number, and test text. Like in the contacts funnels, we can add steps here or you can add them later. The last row here is if you're creating a personal or a public funnel. If you want to send these to your users or other members of your organization, say share it, and it will automatically show up in their list of funnels to be used. That is all the additional information that we have for our projects. Once you get here, we save our flow and it will appear into our flows list. For today, we're not going to add any steps in, but just know that the steps can be created once you go into the flow details.